Why aren't birds bigger? Okay, well, to be more specific, why have no known flighted birds gotten even close to the sizes of the largest pterosaurs? So, stepping back a little, pterosaurs were a clade of reptiles that were closely related to dinosaurs, and most importantly for our purposes, were the first vertebrates to evolve powered flight. They also went extinct around 66 million years ago during the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event. So, if birds have had all this time to innovate, per se, why haven't they? Are huge sizes just not advantageous? Have atmospheric conditions changed? Like, can it just not support the flight of animals that massive anymore? Well, in reality, the actual answer may have to do with a very simple difference in anatomy between birds and pterosaurs. The largest birds flying today have wingspans of around 10 to 12 feet, which is quite large, but that's only a fraction of the 33 to 36 foot wingspans of the largest known pterosaurs. Though some insight into these differences could be gained by taking a look at the largest known extinct birds. Argentaeus magnificens and Pelagrinus sandersi may have reached wingspans of up to 20 and 24 feet respectively. However, this seems to be around the upper limit in size for birds, as both species would have been unable to take off from flat ground, at least not without a little help from the wind. This definitely limited their potential habitats, which may have been one of the factors behind their extinctions in the first place. So, if the upper limit for birds is only 2/3 the size of Quetzalcoatlus northerpi and Hatzegopteryx lambima, what makes these pterosaurs different? It's their takeoff method. So, birds are bipedal, and essentially take off by jumping into the air and flapping their wings. You can see this in any slow motion footage of them taking off. This means that birds have to maintain a pretty delicate balance, though, as ideally, their legs have to be strong enough to launch the rest of their body, but also light enough not to drag them down as they fly. Pterosaurs didn't have this problem. As most modern paleontologists agree they're quadrupedal, they would have had all the strength in both their hind and forelimbs behind their takeoffs. You know, their forelimbs, which happen to be their giant wings. So, because the available strength behind their takeoffs effectively increased at the same rate as their size, they didn't run into the same barrier as birds did. This is a perfect example of how evolution basically works with what it's got, especially with the convergent evolution of structures like wings. And it all comes with trade-offs based on an organism's ancient ancestors or the current environment it finds itself adapting to. In this case, pterosaurs may have had the edge in size, but birds have evidently stood the test of time, and they hopefully aren't going anywhere anytime soon.